I feel I failed because I forgot to bring the booze.
Yes. Would have been a great
Tipsy Chronicles sober edition.
Yeah.
Starter shot would have been nice.
Yeah. The bag's falling apart, so I couldn't really fit it in there, and then I just didn't remember after that.
Okay, we can get a drink after.
One thing I've learned, drinks are good at any time of the day, before or after.
Definitely. Mason, thank you for being here.
Yeah, thanks for having me. Appreciate it.
And Avery, welcome back.
It's been a while.
It's been longer than a while.
It's been a long time. What, 40-something episodes?
Yeah, you were number 4.
Uh-huh.
And we just released number 45, so at least 40 weeks.
Yep.
It's an OG founding.
I know, I haven't heard that song in a minute.
Yeah. It's been a minute. So, Mason, you are here because of Avery.
Yes. I met Avery through a mutual friend, and quickly I saw we were talking about the podcast, somehow brought up. I think I was just like, I think I'm going to be on that, and I sent you a message.
Yeah.
I think 20 minutes later.
Yeah.
I was like, I think you said I could come on.
No, it was great. And then I got a message from her. Obviously, you're welcome. I go, well, why don't you be on too then?
Yeah.
Why not?
You got to be a part of it too. It's that brokerage fee.
Yeah.
So y'all don't know each other that well.
No, not super well, but hey, fast friends.
Yeah.
Friends.
No, we met at Revelry, and here we are.
Yeah.
So if I asked you anything about him, you wouldn't be able to help me out. Really?
Try me.
I am a yapper.
I'm just going to ask him.
No, okay, actually, no, I can't.
Yeah.
But.
So you're in the service industry.
Yeah, I was for about 7 years, give or take, through college pretty much. I went to college for 6 years. I was bartending pretty much the whole time I did that, and I stayed in the industry for about a year after I graduated. But yeah, I mean, I've been in the industry. I mean, I'm still in the nightlife industry as it is, but the service industry itself, I was in for about, a good chunk of my, working career.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's the majority of what I learned and what I know. So I'd say, yeah, I'm a big service industry advocate.
Sounds like I could hear it in your voice. You got tired sometimes. You had some fun, but
yeah,
it was a lot.
The fun was, I mean, it was always fun, right? The service industry, I think that's the enticement of why people really stay in it as long as they do their career, bartender's career, like people who do nightlife up until they're gray and can't anymore. I think it's because of just how fun it is. You can make a lot of money doing it. There's a lot of enticing elements to the service industry and to the nightlife industry. I think it's just the burnout. Yeah. Right? It eventually comes.
Yeah.
And but then I think people really tend to find ways to stay in it without having to do the labor intensive or the parts that burnt them out initially. I think that's the cool part about the service industry is there's a place for everybody, even if you're not on the front lines of it.
Mm-hmm.
And that's basically what you're doing now.
Right. So right now I'm basically a general media consultant. I do social media marketing. I do social media management, event coordination, promotion, kind of just general nightlife consultant, I guess. I work with a lot of different brands, a lot of different companies, setting up events, doing filming, setting up photographers, videographers, anything that they could need. So I'm still very much around it. I work with multiple bartenders at every event that I go to. Just it's something I'll probably always be around until like I said, I can't.
Yeah, right on, man. Do you miss it being behind the bar at all?
I was talking to a few friends literally last week about how how I watch friends like my friends who bartend and I miss it. It looks like it's still so much fun.
Yeah.
But I will say like the hours that they are forced to stand and do what they're doing. It's that constant cycle. It's the double-edged sword of it.
Yeah.
But I do miss it. Yeah, I really do.
Did you drink when you were behind the bar?
Yeah. Yeah.
Does anybody not?
Yeah.
Yeah. There's people that don't.
Surprised.
Yeah.
Honestly, I feel like I have met a lot of even just completely sober people, like from any and everything, working behind the bar. Surprisingly enough, which makes me believe that it wasn't always that way, and it led up to that point.
Sure.
But whatever the case, yeah, there definitely are a lot of people who don't drink behind the bar. Not me though.
Clearly, not this one here.
No.
I mean, I don't get
she's like
plastered, but I'll take a few, especially if they're offered to me. Someone's like, "I'll buy you a shot and I'll get one too." I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
You do mezcal and tequila mostly.
Yes.
What else did you? Because you can't. Do you shoot mezcal behind the bar? Okay.
No.
Dangerous game.
Only tequila. No, I can't shoot mezcal.
Do you shoot anything else behind the bar?
No.
Just tequila.
Just tequila.
Okay. Mason, what about you? What did you drink behind the bar?
Weirdly enough, I'm so strange. I'm a whiskey guy. Whiskey bourbon. I shoot it. I drink it in cocktails.
Yeah.
Not that I don't like tequila. I think that I had my heyday with it, and it does not
Everyone has that
bode well.
story. Yeah.
I don't turn into the same person I do when I'm drinking tequila these days. So I tend to avoid the clear. But
No.
whiskey bourbon all day long.
Okay. A couple weeks ago, somebody had asked me to name my alcohol pyramid.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to ask you all the same thing, but rum was at the bottom for me and then tequila. But you can give me Avery, we'll start with you, your top 5.
Top to bottom or bottom to top?
Whichever you.
Okay. Favorites tequila, mezcal.
All right, so hold on. Right there, we're going to stop. So tequila and mezcal, we're going to put them
Agave.
Okay, fine.
Together.
We'll put them together. Okay.
Mhm.
Next would be vodka.
Okay.
And then I would go whiskey, then gin, then rum.
Interesting.
Put gin number 4. How dare you?
I haven't had I have, but I can't shoot it. And I can shoot whiskey more than I can shoot gin.
People who shoot gin, I
And-
do have an issue trusting.
They're
I will say.
sad. People who shoot gin are sad.
So you don't trust me, and I'm sad. No, I'm just kidding. No. Mason, what about you, man?
So definitely on top, whiskey bourbon, rye for sure. I'd say second place, I'd honestly have to put gin. Third place, I'd have to put agave. Fourth, I'd do rum. Fifth, vodka. Vodka is the cop-out spirit, in my opinion.
It is, but it's easy to drink.
With juices and sugar.
You can't shoot a shot of vodka?
No, it tastes like rubbing alcohol.
And that is
Yes, it
delicious to me.
does. Yes, it does.
That's masochism, and I love it for you.
Okay, so rum is almost at the bottom for all of us.
Yeah.
Headache central.
Well, it's
Hangover
sugar.
central.
It at its core is derived from sugar cane, and not that it's not drinking rum all night long isn't going to be like the worst hangover of your life, but it's not a good recipe for not having a hangover.
Yeah.
I heard something if you drink rum and diet, there's something in the diet that makes you drunker faster.
Who told you that bullshit?
I'd like to see the science.
I feel like because it doesn't have diet doesn't have, I don't know.
You're talking Diet
just heard
Coke,
it. Yeah,
right?
Diet
Yeah.
Coke. Yeah.
Mm.
I didn't think it was.
Yeah, I
a
don't
thing,
even like
but
Diet Coke though. That doesn't sound like a win-win in my either way. I just drink straight whiskey. That'll do the job. I promise.
Yeah. I've only had rum when there was nothing else to drink, and I shouldn't have been doing that.
Yeah.
I will say in Turks and Caicos, that's pretty much all they have. And I was there a couple of years ago, and honestly, some of the best rum I've ever had. I mean, obviously it's pretty expensive, like aged Turks and Caicos rum. It wasn't like Bacardi and stuff like that. But at the same time, it did kind of open my eyes a little bit to having a little more appreciation for the wider varietals of rum.
Yeah, if you're in a spot like that, I completely understand that. But if I'm just at the bar or I'm at someone's house, no, thank you.
Have you guys ever even heard somebody go up to a bar and order rum? Have you ordered
just a straight
shot
up?
of rum?
Oh yeah, my cousin rips rum, or at least he used to.
Only if it's higher end rum though.
No, he was doing Bacardi.
Oh, God.
Like Sailor Jerry, if people shoot that,
Yeah,
Captain.
yeah.
crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Now I will say, I mean, if you want some Bay Breeze, sweet boat drink, sure, it tastes like
Tropical.
yeah, it tastes like a smoothie, for the most part, but to shoot it is insane.
I literally just got a headache thinking about this shit. Not even lying. My head is pounding right now.
It is kind of making my liver throb a little bit too, thinking about it.
Yeah.
I want to meet the person whose rum is on top for them and see how they are in life.
He's a maniac.
We'd
My
probably,
cousin,
have,
he's
we'd
a
probably
maniac.
have to talk to them through a padded, or through a...
Straight jacket,
Yeah.
some Hannibal Lecter
Behind
shit.
bar.
with a
bars.
phone, picking up the other phone.
He's got one of those guards on. You can't bite anybody.
They wheel him in.
Yeah. So talking about events and different things we drink, you've got a story about the clergy that you were doing an event for.
Yeah.
And I don't know what they were drinking, but I can't wait to hear what you're going to tell me.
So, I won't go, into crazy amount of detail, but to give you the gist of who these people were, this was a big religious group, a religious clergy in Texas. One of the top, actually ranked organizations within their religious sect of the state, and it was a group of about 15, bishops, priests, the cardinals, all of the diocese, and and these people wanted to do a New Year's Eve event. Really cool. It was going to be actually a rather large event. It was about 500 people, and they rented out an entire restaurant and bar for the event. It was called Jules, and they had this lakefront property, 2 stories, upstairs mezzanine, downstairs bars on both floors. Really awesome. It was going to be a great event, open bar completely for these people. Like they had everything paid for, the catering through the restaurant. It was going to be a great time. Like honestly, everything was going really well. Like with just acquisition of vendors. Like it couldn't have asked for a smoother event on the back end of it. Now day of, I'm there to party too. Like once the event starts, my work kind of stops. And I'm able to kind of like enjoy the fruits of my labor up until that point. So that's really the cool part about it. So I really just check in with my people every so throughout the night. A few hours go by, the party started. It's probably about 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock at this point. So really, we still have a lot more event left. I'm checking in with bartenders, checking in with staff, and I just get a little inkling here and there that it's going to be people are already hitting it pretty hard, right? Which, cool. It's New Year's Eve. It's a holiday. People are celebrating. Open bar, of course. Anytime there's an open bar, you expect it.
Oh yeah.
Right. If I hear open bar, I'm getting my money and
Money's
time's worth
yes.
out of that. Like,
Yes.
why wouldn't I? Especially for an event like New Year's Eve. Like, so everything's fine and dandy. They actually do a sit down dinner. At this point, I can kind of tell from the crowd, like during the food service, that people are starting to feel a little more loose, right? Everybody's really loud. Everybody starts to yell over each other, and there's 500 people in this restaurant. It's just an uproar of all these different conversations. People are like, there's ding ding ding, plates dropping, glasses getting knocked over throughout the thing. Throughout the course of the meal, and I can just tell this is a roller coaster going. Then after food service ends, everybody kind of all the service takes away all the stuff. The tables all get moved out. This is the flip part of the night. The tables all get moved out, turns the whole restaurant into a dance floor, basically. A live band comes in, jazz players. It's like think like really nice wedding band type thing. They're doing a bunch of covers.
Like funky stuff?
Funky stuff. They're doing all the classic white people anthems, Sweet Carolines and everything like that. Yeah. I mean, it was great. They were amazing. And they really knew how to turn up a party. They were really good. But I think that was the start of the end.
Yeah.
The tipping point of the roller coaster.
The tipping point, because as soon as everybody got some food in them as well, they were like, oh, well, now I can really start drinking, right?
Obviously.
So the band goes on, dance floor starts. At this point, I'm kind of drunk. So I know that I'm going to check in with my bartenders at this point, and my head bartender, his name's Matt. Shout out Matt. He comes up to me. He goes, "Hey, I just want you to know, I have a question. Are we cutting people off?" I was like, I mean, if there's a fight or if somebody's being an asshole, sure. I'm cut off who you need if it's becoming a problem. But I mean, no one's driving. No one's driving, and these are people paying basically an unlimited budget. The more money that you put on that tab, the more money y'all make, the more money we all make. Run it up.
Yeah.
And usually that works. I think that was a little bit of my fault at this point, because they did exactly what I told them to do, and they were running it up. They were pouring shots of Clase Azul Black. They were pouring. They went through 4 bottles of 1942. They were going through Pappy Van Winkle bottles, 20, like what would essentially be $230 shots, pouring through bottles.
And how many people were at this?
500.
Dang.
Yeah. They so 11:30, right? We're about to get ready and start passing out champagne. Gonna do the big toast. New Year's is about to happen. The event ends at 1. 11:30 rolls around. All my bartenders are stopped service so they can all pour. I mean, it's 500 glasses they got to make, so they're all stopping and pouring champagne is getting kind of spilled everywhere. It's almost like pouring cascade. It's like a big U-shaped bar. It's like cascading over the bar. They're just basically just like dumping it all, trying to get it all filled. Which I know, do your thing. But people start grabbing. Midnight rolls around. Everybody's got champagne. 3, 2, 1. Happy New Year's. Then just this eruption, a waterfall. Like nobody drank their champagne. Everybody throws it up in the air, and like it's just like now everybody's covered in champagne, sticky, all over the floor, still partying, like still raging. And at this point, my head bartender Matt walks back up to me. He says, "Hey, the archdiocese, like the head of the clergy, the man who basically is the man, the honcho in charge. He's had 11 old fashions." And I'm like, no, like he can't be. Right. And he says, no. Like, I'm the only one that's been serving him. And he's had 11 old fashions. I said, is he okay? I said, I don't know. He's sitting on the stairs right now. And I said, okay, I'm going to go check on him. My man was one eye open. Happy New Year.
Mortal Kombat, just finish him.
You finish him. So I go up to one of the Cardinal guys and I'm like, hey, like, just keep an eye on him. He's the host. I can't tell him to leave. Yeah. Right. So I'm like, hey, keep an eye on him, please. Like, I don't want him to like fall over, pass out, whatever. Meanwhile, another one of my bartenders comes up to me. Hey, we have another issue. And I'm like, okay, what is it this time? It's like, hey, just walk with me to the parking lot. There are 2 parking spots adjacent, like next to each other, right in front of the front door, absolutely covered in vomit. Like there was one of them was splattered on the side of a car next to them, vomit all over the parking. Like, I don't even know how you have like.
They were just all going for the same spot.
Maybe it was a line.
And
Maybe they had a line forming and they thought this was the best. Like, the bathroom. No, they're probably full, right? I don't know.
So I know for me, if I see throw up, I'm probably going to throw up.
That's me
so
too.
There's a possibility that somebody walked by, and then they just that all happened, and then they added to it.
That could very well be because like mine is a smell. I can see it, I'll be fine. But if I smell,
if I get both, I'm done.
I'm cooked. Yeah. I'm throwing up as well.
Yeah.
My mom said sympathetic vomiter is what she called it.
So it could have been that a little bit.
And and now that you say that, that does make a lot more sense. But at the same time, like, oh my God, like, come on.
Yeah.
Anyways, I get one of the bartenders on that, or one of the staff on that, and because I'm like I said, I'm not touching that.
Right.
And so 10 minutes or so goes by. I'm like, okay, this is damage control part of the night. So I'm walking around. I'm talking to the manager of the restaurant and bar. He's drunk. No help. Everybody is beyond where they need to be drunk. This was like one of those events where I'm not sure who was sober enough to actually help me. So another one of my bartenders comes up, Emily, and she's like, "We have a big problem." And I'm like, "Was it the vomit? We took care of it. Like, I got somebody on it. Like, he's like, no." So she's like, no. So we go. The way that the restaurant was laid out, there's an upstairs and a downstairs. The upstairs was the private mezzanine that they would have like smaller events at for normal service time, and there was a balcony that wrapped around the upstairs mezzanine with a staircase that led down to the parking lot. And the staircase actually surprisingly led right to where that vomit was. But I guess this person didn't make it, but they also didn't have to vomit. I walk outside to the mezzanine and she stops before she even gets around the corner and she just says, "Just go around and look." Which when she stopped and didn't want to see it herself, that kind of like, okay, what am I walking into? Mm-hmm. There's about, if I had, and I'm not a scale. I'm eyeballing here, but it was about, I would say 2 pounds of human shit sitting right in the middle of the staircase. I've never seen, one, that much human shit before, and two, like just in a little, like it looked like a cartoon pile. Like it really did. It looked like a cartoon pile. That was about the point where I was about to throw up. And I call the manager of the actual restaurant and I said, "I need you to get one of your staff on this because if I touch that, I'm charging you way more money than you want me to charge you, or I'm gonna throw up on it." Yeah. And we have 2 problems. Yeah. So please get somebody on this. Apparently they did. I don't know. I left it up to them. That was out of my hands at this point.
Yeah, I wouldn't go back to fucking check on it or anything like that,
No.
Well, it was on the staircase outside?
Outside, yeah.
Well, I'm not saying it's right. I'm saying it's better.
I guess a slap in the face is better than punch in the face. But I mean, I'd rather not have either.
But still.
No, but I mean, at this point, we have about 45 minutes left in the event. I'm over it.
Yeah.
I'm over it.
Trying to keep yourself together.
I'm sober now.
Yeah.
And so I see the archbishop, like the head guy, getting taken out by two of his guys, like, firemen over the shoulder, arm style, to whatever their Uber is.
Still one eye open.
Nope, both closed at this point. He's done. And then I see and then obviously the line of Ubers start coming in, and I'm like, thank God. Like,
it's over.
Thank God. All I'm waiting for is this anticipation of somebody being like, hey, we have another problem. Hey, we have another problem. And I'm like, 30 minutes. It can't be another problem in 30 minutes. Thankfully, it wasn't another problem until after, when they were cleaning everything up. Somebody broke in the women's restroom. Somebody broke the toilet seat in half. How do you do that? Like, it looked like they picked it up and snapped it in half and then put it back down. Like,
probably multiple girls in the same stall.
Like standing on it. Maybe?
Yeah. What happens in those things?
What do y'all do?
What happens?
Well,
y'all go together a lot.
But we don't usually go in the same stall. I'm saying that they were really drunk. So was it the handicap stall?
It was like a single person. It wasn't like in the big one. It was like a single.
Maybe they were like peeking over at each other sometimes.
Like, hey, what do you got down there? How's it coming out?
Depends on how drunk you are, but
fair enough. Not me. But
like if your friends in the next one.
Of my friends in the next one, I'm throwing stuff over the. Yeah, sure, but I'm not trying to be like, hey, can I come in there?
That still doesn't snap a seat in half.
No, that's a mystery.
I actually do not know how that. There's no camera. That's the only place. Obviously, there's no cameras. Right. So I still to this day don't know how that happened. But eventually, after the event settled, it's about 3 a.m. It's just me, the staff, and the management, and we're just sitting there, crisscross applesauce on the bar top, drinking the rest of the alcohol that we had opened. Mm-hmm. Because like what a night! Like, really, what a night! It was one of the. And I don't feel like anything that happened was necessarily like, that insane, that crazy, that extreme, but just for all of that to happen for this group of people in one night and 4.5 hours, that was the last group of people that
it seems like they don't drink a lot, or?
No, it seems like they drink more than anybody I've ever met in my life.
Consistently.
Oh, well, handling it is one thing.
Yeah, so they just wreak havoc.
Yeah.
That's what they're about.
Yeah.
When they let loose.
And you know what? If it's not an every weekend thing, which I'm sure it's not for them, and they're letting loose, when they can a couple times a year, sure, I get it. But that was just not expected, really. Like,
yeah.
I'm not really sure if they even were aware of all that was going on while they were partying,
I mean, the person that shit outside definitely knew what was going on.
So that man,
I don't know.
That man we watched on the cameras afterwards to see, because we were trying to see who did it, and he was I think he was just a member, like just an attendee there. I don't think he was like a part of the group that was like putting it on or anything. But we see him upstairs. He's just standing there mingling with a group of people upstairs, and you see him. Just immediately, he set his drink down and he just starts like looking around like this.
Yeah, that food kicked in with the booze. It was running through him.
And you see him immediately. He pulled his pants up real high, like Steve Urkel style, like real high. And then you just see him kind of like walking like this, and he's like walking, and he goes to the bathroom first. Like, there's a bathroom upstairs as well, but it's a single, like it's a one toilet bathroom. Somebody was in it.
And that shit was occupied.
Occupado. So I guess his thought process was, if I take these stairs down here, I can make it to the one, downstairs faster.
And he couldn't make it?
No, he stops dead in his tracks in the middle, pulls his pants all the way down, like to his ankle, like toddler in the urinal style, and lets it go, lets it fly. And he looks around to see if anybody saw him. I don't think anybody saw him do it, and he immediately just leaves straight out.
Oh, he didn't go back?
Nope, straight out to the parking lot. Didn't even see if he got in the car. Didn't see it. Whatever. We just see the camera's kind of in and like halfway point of the parking lot, and he walked past that even. So I don't know,
but mark and all.
But like, gotta be. He didn't want. Like,
that's a solid move though. Instead of going back in like nothing happened, like
just leave.
Someone's gonna find out something.
Yeah.
Or maybe he shit himself a little bit and he was like, well, let me just get this all out.
Let me just dump it.
That's what I'm saying. Like when you gotta go, it's
Yeah.
I mean, when duty calls,
coming.
no pun intended, but like,
I definitely would have thought that maybe it was an initiation of some sort, but the fact that he didn't come back.
yeah, that was the look on his face was priceless though, because the after the fact look, the look on his face before was worry, panic. Yeah, but the look on his face after was priceless. He goes, it was relief in the beginning part, and then it was, oh fuck,
Yeah.
Realization.
and then gone with the wind. God. I love that for him though. You know, that's going to be a story he's going to remember for the rest of his life. Tell
I think so.
grandchildren.
If he remembers it.
I think he will.
I think, yeah, I think he will.
From his mannerisms and how he
Yeah.
did everything.
It didn't seem like he was even all that drunk. It was more just like, I think he just,
Something hit him.
something hit.
Yeah.
Maybe the food didn't agree with him, mixed with the booze. Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, that's a real thing. You know, the maybe he drank too much beer. Every time I drink beer, I tend to, oh, you know what I do? Gotta go.
I think it was the food,
Yeah.
honestly, mixed with a little bit of alcohol.
Yeah.
Especially if you're hitting a bottle of something you maybe don't normally
Yeah,
drink.
and you know, I don't really know what, you know, most of these people drink in their day to day, but it was all hard liquor.
Yeah.
Like no one was really drinking beer at all. Like
Yeah.
it was just old fashions, margaritas, shots. You know, like it was just they were getting their money's worth going at it, which they they should. Like
Yeah.
that's the point of an open bar. It's the point of these events is to have fun. I think most of them had fun.
Definitely.
I mean, I had fun. I'm not gonna lie. You know, looking back at it, and now I have this cool story to tell. But at the same
Definitely.
time, like I am in the very beginning of like this is like 3 years ago, just about. And I'm in the very beginning stages of like learning how to do this job, like learning how to like set these events up. I thought I killed it, and I did kill. In the back end of it, it went so smoothly, no problems. And I'm like, this is going to be an awesome event. We made a ton of money. Like my bartenders left with there was like 6 of them. They left with like $1,500 each.
Beautiful.
And like everybody got fed, everybody got drunk for free. I think everybody left with bottles of alcohol to take home too. Like it was a great turnout. And I think with everybody making their money that way, like, you know, no one was like, okay, cool.
Yeah.
I'll clean up some throw up. I'll clean up some shit. I don't know, but not me. I did make good money, but I'm glad that I didn't have to do that to make the money. But it was great, you know, and it was a good learning experience to get all that stuff just out of the way. And now I can say I've seen some stuff.
Yeah, you can handle some
Seen
more.
some shit.
I've
Yeah.
seen some shit.
Yeah. You can handle
Yeah.
some things now for sure.
But I wouldn't trade the nightlife, like the events industry, because like where else are you going to see things like that? Like you're not going to go work at fucking Hobby Lobby and see, like you're not going to.
Then
be
again,
able to go.
you'd be surprised,
Yeah, then
man.
again,
You
I
never
guess
know.
so.
You know.
Some of these office jobs too, you never know. They get wild if they're
Yeah.
on the 43rd floor.
Definitely. Well, that's cool, man. I'm glad that I think it's still a successful event, even when stuff like that happens, because it shows that everyone did have a good time one way or another.
I think as long as no one leaves in an ambulance,
Right,
I'll
no one got
consider
hurt.
That an
Yeah,
successful
no one
event.
drove.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No one drove. Yeah, we made sure that we closed the parking lot off to cars that weren't Uber
Yeah,
because we knew.
definitely.
Like something's bound to happen. At least it wasn't.
And they're
bad.
churchgoers, church members and stuff. So I figured, like, you know, the last thing we want is you know, archdiocese gets arrested at leaving event,
Yeah.
thrown, you know, but don't need that.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, the worst that happened is the guy possibly shit himself.
yeah. And here we go, you know, and that's fine. If that's the worst that can happen, hey,
Yeah,
success.
definitely. Well, Mason, look, man, we've got a few more minutes here. We can try to run the Dirty Six story
Oh, yeah.
if you want. You think you can do this in about 5 minutes?
Yeah, I can knock it out pretty quick.
Go, man.
So this
Take
is
the
one of the first times I'm actually partying as an. Actually, yeah, okay, I was of age at this time. I was remember I was probably freshly newly 21, very freshly newly, and I was at this event with some friends. It was like a date event, and this was after the fact. The event's over. We're out partying on Dirty Six at this point. I'm just talking to one of my friends in the bar. Little bit of drug use involved, lot of alcohol intake involved, and I was just on a little bit of a different level than I'd ever been before. Needless to say, I was unused to how these situations would go, you know. So anyways, I'm sitting there talking to a friend, drink in hand. From behind, I get bumped. My drink, you know, it kind of spills my drink on my friend. something came over me. I don't know if it was like just this sheet of red over my eyes or whatever, but just anger filled my body, like rage filled my body. And I just turn around immediately and I just shove. I don't even look before I shove. I just shove. No business touching this behemoth of a man behind me. No business. If I had taken a second just to look, I'd been like, oh, I'm sorry, please, excuse me. So, but no, that's not what happened. And he comes, and because I pushed this man, obviously now he's approaching me, watch who you're touching, watch who the fuck you put your hands on. I'm terrified at this point. I'm terrified. I'm 21 years old. This dude's got to be like 6'5", 6'3", somewhere in there, like 250 pounds, and then like just this big, this man should be a linebacker if he wasn't. Like, I don't know. So the first thing I thought, don't know why, wasn't a great idea, but it's just, I better swing as hard as I can right now. If I don't, he's gonna I'm gonna die. So I did. I swung as hard as I can, and I hit him right in the cheek. And I'm pretty sure it probably hurt him. I swung hard, but it did not faze him. Like he turns right back, looks at me, and that's when I'm like, oh, I fucked up. And then next thing I know, I get hit right in the face, like almost like right in the forehead, and I just fall straight back, straight to the ground. I remember he kind of like got on top of me. He hit me a few more times. I just remember my head going like this a couple of times. I didn't even feel those, surprisingly. And
you're lucky you didn't.
Yeah, well, I felt him the next day.
Yeah.
He gets pulled off by his friends, my friends, and like the bouncers start trying to like pull me out from under him. The bouncers are like literally like limp body carrying me, dragging me out of the bar, pick up my legs and toss me out of the bar, like literally like toss my body out of the
like
bar.
a movie.
Like a movie, like the worst movie I've ever seen, at least. And I am just kind of laying there for a second. I think their thought process was the cops will be here, that's him, kind of thing.
Yeah.
I did start it, so I mean,
Did your friends come out with you?
Yeah, my friends immediately kind of follow them out after they threw me out, and they're like doing their best to get me, like, come on, dude, like we got to get out of here. We got to get out of here. I'm in a full tux, basically. Like I guess it is not a great scene, and I'm just like incoherent, getting dragged by my friends, just trying. Thank God they were there though, because like I would have probably gotten arrested or something, And that was that was one of my first actually like of age Dirty Six experience.
I think having one of those in the history books is,
I think that everybody, as a man at least, should have their ass handed to them at least once. I mean, that was not the first or last time I had my ass handed to me, but that was a good that was one that stuck.
Mm-hmm.
I'm glad that you're happy that one stuck.
You seem to be looking at this very positively.
Yeah, I try to. Otherwise, like, life's about those ebbs and flows of like, you got to have the good, you got to have the bad, or otherwise it's not life. And if you don't like have these fun, like life would be so boring, if you don't have these like, bad things happen to you or crazy things happen to you, or these interactions with people that aren't always great or are great, like that's the whole point of it.
Definitely.
So I mean, like if you can't look back at it, laugh and smile, then you didn't, then you probably didn't learn from it either.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
Did you go home immediately after that?
Somebody else's home. Yeah, I got put on my friend's couch that night, and pretty much immediately though. We went and got Whataburger, but yes.
Okay.
Much needed.
Yeah. They were like, you need to eat something. I was like, I'll try. My jaw was like sore.
Yeah, were you bleeding at all?
I don't think so. I don't think so. I've been in a fight before. It was actually an organized fight where I had my jaw like dislocated, and I didn't like. It didn't feel like that either. So I knew it wasn't like that bad, but it was hard to eat. Like it was like every time I would like chew, it was like bruised.
I couldn't imagine. I would have been on a smoothie diet for sure.
Mashed potatoes, baby. Mashed potatoes.
Well, Mason, we have to wrap this one up, but thank you so much for being here.
Man, thanks for having me. This was awesome.
Yeah, and you are welcome back anytime. When we have more time, we can tell more stories for as long as you want.
Oh yeah, dude. I'm definitely got a few more in the bag. So
I know you do. I already know you do. And Avery, thank you for the introduction, and thank you for being on. And you're actually going to be back on here pretty soon for another episode.
I got a story for y'all.
I'm ready for that episode.
I'm going to not say anything else. I'm just going to leave it at that. Cheers, y'all.
And we'll be right back.